10 at night. The city lights are still glowing, but your room is quiet, too quiet. You check your phone, nothing. You scroll through social media, watching others laugh, travel, hug, kiss, live. Meanwhile, it's just you, your thoughts, and that familiar silence. You tell yourself you're fine, that solitude is peace. But deep down, you know this is different. This is loneliness. The kind that hums in your chest like a forgotten song you can't stop hearing. It's not just about being alone. It's about feeling alone. Even in a room full of people. Even in a life that from the outside looks okay. Hello everyone and welcome. Today I want to talk about something that too many of us carry quietly and alone. Loneliness. It's one of those emotions that often go unspoken. Not because it doesn't hurt, but because admitting it feels like weakness. But the truth is, loneliness is human. And more than that, it's something we can learn to understand, manage, and even transform. So today, I want to share with you not just strategies, but a conversation from my heart to yours. Because I've been there too. And if you're feeling disconnected, empty, or invisible right now, I want you to know that you are not alone in this feeling, and you can heal. Let's begin. Let's start by truly understanding what loneliness is, because it's often misunderstood. You see, loneliness isn't just about being alone. It's deeper, more complex, and far more emotional than just physical isolation. There's a big difference between solitude and loneliness. Solitude can be beautiful. It can be peaceful, reflective, even healing. It's when you choose to be alone, to recharge, to be present with yourself, to think, to breathe. But loneliness? Loneliness is something else entirely. Loneliness is not a choice. It's a deep, aching feeling that your need for meaningful connection isn't being met. You can be in a crowded room, at a party, or even sitting beside someone you love, and still feel invisible. You can be scrolling through hundreds of texts or have 1,000 followers and still feel like no one really sees you. Why? Because loneliness isn't about how many people are around you. It's about the quality of those connections. When I was going through one of my loneliest times, I remember being surrounded by people, laughing on the outside, but internally, I felt like a ghost in my own life, like no one truly understood me. And that's the thing. Loneliness is the absence of being understood. It's feeling emotionally out of reach. It's knowing people hear your words, but don't hear your heart. This kind of loneliness, the emotional kind, can be the most painful of all because it's not obvious. It's not something you can explain easily, but you feel it in your chest, in your stomach, in the long pauses between messages. So if you're feeling that right now, if you've been walking through your days feeling unseen, disconnected, or numb, I want to tell you this. You are not alone in that feeling. Millions of people feel it. I felt it. And more importantly, you're not stuck in it. There is a path through it, a way to heal. And that's what we're going to explore together today. Loneliness often comes from unmet emotional needs. Maybe you were the kind of person who was always strong for others. You were the listener, the problem solver, the one who never needed anything. But somewhere along the way, you forgot how to ask for help. You forgot how to open up. Or maybe you tried and were met with silence or judgment, and so you started building walls instead of bridges. Or maybe your loneliness stems from loss, a breakup, a friendship that faded, the passing of someone close. These voids feel like they tear holes in your reality, and no matter how hard you try to fill them, nothing quite fits. We often bury these experiences under distractions, work, social media, entertainment. But when the noise fades and it's just you again, that's when it resurfaces, that ache, that echo. It's okay to admit it. It's okay to sit with it for a moment and say, yes, I feel alone. Because that is the first step toward healing. When I was deep in my loneliness, one of the hardest but most important realizations I had was this. I needed to rebuild my connection with myself before I could truly connect with others. I started with simple things. I began journaling, not to be profound, but to be honest. I wrote about how I felt. I let my fears and frustrations spill out without judgment. I reconnected with my body, going for walks, feeling the wind on my face, noticing my breath. For the first time in a long time, I was present with myself. Then, I started doing things alone, on purpose, not as a punishment, but as a way to rediscover what made me happy. I went to a cafe alone. I read books in the park. I danced in my room with no one watching. And slowly I realized, I enjoyed my own company more than I thought. I wasn't empty, I was just unfamiliar with myself. So if you're struggling, start here. Spend intentional time with yourself. Not to fix you, but to find you again. Healing loneliness doesn't mean you have to become a social butterfly overnight, but we do need people. Not many people, just a few who make you feel seen. It's scary to open up, I know, but vulnerability is how true connection is born. Reach out to someone you trust, even if it's just to say, "Hey, I've been feeling kind of off lately." It doesn't have to be dramatic, just real. And if you don't feel like you have anyone right now, I promise you this, it's not too late to find your people. Join a class, volunteer, get involved in something that aligns with who you are. Put yourself in spaces where people want connection too. One of the bravest things I ever did was message someone I hadn't talked to in a long time and say, "I miss our conversations." That simple line rekindled a friendship I had written off. People are often waiting for permission to connect. Sometimes all it takes is a small step from you to open a big door. A huge part of healing from loneliness is learning to feel safe within yourself. Because the truth is, some loneliness comes from internal rejection. Feeling like you're not enough, not worthy, not lovable. These beliefs often start in childhood or after traumatic relationships. But we carry them like facts, when really, they're just old stories. Start rewriting the story, gently. When that inner voice says, "No one cares," answer it with truth. I care. I'm listening. Affirmations help, but actions are even more powerful. Take care of yourself in small, tangible ways. Cook yourself a nourishing meal. Make your bed. Drink enough water. These are not just routines, they are acts of self-respect. Prove to your brain that you matter. You don't need someone else to validate your worth, though of course it's nice to be seen. But your healing starts the moment you start choosing you every single day. There's a kind of loneliness that hurts, and there's a kind of solitude that heals. When we learn to enjoy our own presence, we discover a new kind of freedom. We're no longer afraid of silence. We're no longer desperate for outside approval. Solitude can be a sacred space where you reconnect with your creativity, your dreams, your soul. In solitude, I've found answers I never would have heard in the noise. In solitude, I've healed old wounds, rediscovered passions, and cultivated peace. Don't rush to fill the silence. Learn to dance with it. There is wisdom in the stillness. There is beauty in being alone, but not lonely. Loneliness is not a life sentence. It is a season, a signal, an invitation to come home to yourself. If you're in that place right now, I want to remind you, you are not broken. You are not invisible. You are not alone. Talk to yourself kindly. Reach out, connect, heal. You deserve meaningful relationships, but above all, you deserve a strong, loving relationship with yourself. Remember, you're not defined by loneliness. It's an experience, not an identity. You have the inherent capacity for connection, for joy, and for healing. By acknowledging your feelings, understanding their roots, actively reaching out, and doing the vital inner work of self-compassion and self-worth, You can move from a place of isolation to one of meaningful connection and profound self-healing. You deserve to feel connected, seen, and truly alive. Take that first step today, however small it may seem. Your well-being is worth it, and that starts today. If this video spoke to your heart in any way, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing it with someone who might need it too. Remember, your feelings are valid. Your journey matters. And no matter how lonely it feels right now, someone out there understands. Take care of yourself. You're not alone anymore.